Welcome to the second Sunday in Lent, and particularly for those who have been following with us in this pilgrimage, in this journey, congratulations. We are a quarter of the way through this journey toward Easter as we allow our thoughts and our minds and our prayers and our actions and our attitudes to be formed more fully to Christ. And last week we particularly looked at the temptations of Christ and the temptations we experience, and yet the call of God. And now on this Sunday, Jesus is taking Peter, James and John, and they go up a high mountain. And I would encourage you to take time, perhaps even today, to really sit down with this text and mine it out and let the richness of the imagery and what is literally happening grab you. See, we are preparing to be renewed at Easter. And part of the Easter story is the absolute joy and certainty of the resurrection of Jesus, wherein we too have been raised. So don't be afraid of looking at the Transfiguration. Don't be embarrassed by it. So many I run into are embarrassed. They don't know what to do with it. Well, the Apostle Peter, if you look into Peter, used this experience as a place that was utterly foundational to his life and his ministry. Peter, the one who in Matthew's Gospel had received from Jesus a particular commission. You are Peter, and on you, Peter, I will build my church. And keys given, and authority given. And it had come in the whole process of Jesus speaking prophetically about his sufferings, about his rejection, about his beatings and crucifixion. And yet even in that prophecy, when Peter was called, there was a note of, on the third day, I will. So here they are up a mountain, and there's so much that we could look back historically when Moses went up a mountain, when Elijah was up a mountain. And both of these who were dead. Only, of course, they aren't dead. They are alive to God. And they are seen with Jesus by Peter, James, and John. And clearly they are seen for a particular reason. We might think, and go where the Spirit of God takes you, Moses. We think of Moses as the great lawgiver, and so he was. But there is another comment about Moses in the Old Testament. He speaks about the prophet. And so Moses brought the heart of God, and Jesus is the prophet. Perhaps Elijah too is thought of as one of the most charismatic and interesting figures of all prophecy in the Old Testament, of confronting, of tearing down, of restoring and building up. My brother Elijah and my older brother Moses are alive to God. Wonderful. And we hear again echoes of that which came out of the baptism of Christ. Echoes from the cloud. This is my beloved Son, listen to him. That should be a daily prayer. Lord, your voice. Psalm 95. If today you hear his voice, harden not your hearts. And then Jesus cautions them as they come down that mountain. They've seen his glory. They've seen, as it were, a precursor from their viewpoint to the resurrection. Jesus says, you keep this quiet. And they question amongst themselves, what does rising from the dead mean? Well, what does it mean? We press on and we explore. May God bless us as we live in the knowledge that Jesus is alive.